interesting. I decided to get a master's in education and health promotion rather than an MPH. And the reason I chose that is, hospital epidemiology is pretty contained. It's different when you're out in the community and you're doing outbreaks and what an MPH would give you. But when you're in a hospital, they pretty much prescribe to you how they want the data presented and the committees, and we want, these kinds of epidemic curves, or we want these kinds of cross-tabulation charts. And I was so sick of describing the problem and fancy slides and, whistles and bells, which even better today with all the AI stuff. But how do you change the behavior of healthcare workers? How do you change behavior of children even? So the education track I took was in health promotion, but I purposely took my electives with teachers. And I wanted to, because I had kids, I wanted to learn about, and it was tough because these were core classes for them, and learn about Kohlberg and, moral reasoning and how Piaget, and how do they actually teach in classes to sculpt children's behavior. So it was social learning theory. And it's from Dr. Albert Bandura out of Stanford University, role modeling and self-efficacy. If you role model the behavior and then you teach, you create a situation where you can increase the self-esteem of the healthcare, where you can do it. I'm going to role model it, but you can do this. Unit-based champion program is a good example. I'm going to role model to you what it's like to be an IP. And then you're going to, with self-efficacy, with education and role modeling and observation, you're going to be my eyes and ears in all these departments. It wasn't just nursing. I had unit-based champions in every department. And at the Baptist, I had 2 in the OR, because there's so many surgeries. Then the next one is from B.F. Skinner, which was a Harvard social psychologist. And then we go back to the 50s, 60s with their research. And it was based on feedback, constant reinforced feedback. So data drives your program. Contracting. I will sign, or I will verbally say to you, I agree, I will do this. That's a policy. Or at a hand hygiene symposium, campaign, you can have them contract. I pledge that I will do better hand hygiene. Whenever you pledge to do something, it sticks with you. The body believes every word you tell it. So if you pledge to give somebody back money that you took from them, that loan sticks with you and with them. You're constantly reminded, like, I got to pay them back. I got to pay them. And you never forget, they owe me that $500. It sticks with you, even if it was not in a promissory note. And then the last one's called reciprocity. I'll give you something if you give me something in return. So those 5 principles became the theoretical foundation to my IP program. I have a website called creativehandhygiene.com. I just buy websites and set them up. I can't believe all the websites I have. I even have one on Ebola infection prevention with all the original from 2014 documents from CDC on Ebola that you can't even find on their website now. Anyway, but creative hand hygiene shows, again, role modeling, the things that I did, and got budget to do these hand hygiene and annual bug beat fairs to stimulate creative use of those principles to get people to buy into my program. It was a marketing campaign, basically. Industry does it all the time. I'll give you this little pen, or I'll give you this little stuffed animal, and everybody runs to their booth at APIC to grab that little stuffed animal to bring home to their kids, and they get the attention of them. That's called reciprocity. So by using that, and I even used it at Mass General because I was in school at that point to do the bloodborne pathogen standard. We did multimedia kits and literally hand boxes that went out to all those departments with education all split on what they needed to do, their policies, their PPE, everything, and had unit-based champions even going back to 89 to 90. I've been using it since I learned about it. So that's what's missing, I think. Nursing has their own nursing theories that a CNO will say this is going to be the theoretical foundation to our nursing program. So that's one thing I think we need, a social learning theory base to say how are we going to change the attitudes and the beliefs of healthcare workers to care about infection prevention and control. The second one is I was at the meeting at APIC when they came up with this idea of the title infection preventionist. And a group of us stood up who were trying to work towards this clinical specialist with a master's in nursing for our career, expressed our concerns that what does that mean? What does that mean in the structure in a hospital organizational chart? Where are you going to put them? Are they going to report to nursing? Are they going to report to the lab? Are they going to report to the ID department? Where are they going to go? And no, 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 it's going to be like a hospitalist. They're literally like, oh, be like a hospitalist. And, they're going to be in a very high position. Well, when I went to UHS and looked at where the 35 IPs I had at that point, I went to HR and said, could you find me who they report to? They only found 10 positions. They couldn't find the others. They had no idea where they were. They were hidden in budgets. Some of them were reporting to the lab. Some were reporting to an ID department. Some had a hospital, depending on the size of the hospital. So I rewrote all the job descriptions with their approval and said, if they have more than 2 people in the department, they will become an IP director. So they go to director head meetings and department head meetings, and they can be part of the director energy of a hospital. If they're on their own, or they maybe have an administrative assistant that works with their manager, they manage the program, but they will then report under another structure. And I guess it depends on the hospital. I never wanted to report to quality. I stuck with nursing myself. But usually they have gotten kind of put into the whole quality, which can be good or maybe not good. They have so much on their plate, quality directors directing quality programs. But it's hard. It's especially with PSI. Oh God, the patient safety initiatives and all the things the legal stuff, the risk management stuff. We get lost in that shuffle. So I really feel we should be honored. We should be equal, in my opinion, to a case manager department, a risk management department, a quality department, an infection prevention department, and maybe report to the CMO if you have a CMO. I mean, that to me makes the most sense because a lot of what we deal with is real clinical issues as well as them.